I really wish that I didn't have to be the one to tell you, but here I am, since no one has ever told you before. The pipeline review is not the same thing as the one-to-one with your sales manager, with your sales director, with whoever in your sales organization. Pipeline review is something very important and something that has to take place, but it should not replace the one-to-one. Let me tell you why. So now, why do we do a pipeline review in the first place, and what's the difference between the pipeline review and the one-to-one? Now, we do a pipeline review for a simple reason, actually for a number of reasons. Now, the most basic level is that your sales manager, your sales director, whoever, needs to understand what's going on at the field or at the client facing level to have a clear understanding of where we'll be landing by the end of the month, by the end of the quarter, you name it. Basically, to do forecasting. Now, we all know that forecasts by the definition are wrong, but still they're very important in the sense that they give us a direction, right, or where we can expect to land, especially in larger organizations where of course you have so many moving pieces that having a full picture of what is happening on the ground, it's tough, right? So the pipeline review serves mainly this purpose. There is also other reasons. So one of these, and I would say one of the most relevant for sales reps, is that when you review pipeline together, it's a good way for you to get a second opinion on specific deals, right? That's the moment for you to troubleshoot and or to strategize with your sales manager. Now I'm talking about the most basic relationship, to strategize with this person and to get things moving. Right now, whether the sales manager can remove the obstacles for you is a different story, but you get the idea. Now, that's for the pipeline review. What's the goal of the one-to-one? A one-to-one is really, if you ask me, the time for you as a sales rep to get your leader's time. Now, how you use that time is up to you. My recommendation is to use it in a few different ways. So, firstly, you want to take that opportunity for coaching, right? Every salesperson, every person, really, every professional needs to have an open mindset, right? A growth mindset specifically. We will talk about that in a different video. But you want to look out for what you can be doing better, what you could have done better in certain situations. Typically, your sales manager would be more experienced for you and is someone that, of course, as someone who's seeing, say, your client relationship as an external advisor body, can give a different opinion, a different perspective that you may have missed, right? And that can be very helpful. Now, if you take that feedback as it is, right, so a second opinion, that can really help growing. It can help you growing over time, right? As that obviously, feedback is something that compounds over time. That's one way you can use the one-to-one. Another way you can use it is to basically to keep track of your career development progress. What you should be doing is that at the beginning of every quarter, at the beginning of every year, depending on the cycle, you want to discuss with your manager where you want to go, where you want to develop as a professional. Now, the one-to-one is a good way to keep track of that, right? Maybe it's not something you want to do on a weekly basis, but at least on a monthly basis, you want to make sure that the direction you have been taking so far is actually aligned with where you want to end up being by the end of the year, for example. So that's the second way to use the one-to-one. A third way to use it is really to strategize on specific deals. Again, since your sales manager has different opinions, different perspective, but also different resources than you, he or she can potentially get things going for specific deals. You may need, for example, to have a more senior person to be involved with you in certain client conversation, be involved with certain stakeholders, right? Because I mean, let's not forget, right? Someone with a higher rank than you is gonna be helpful many times because of signaling. In certain cultures, for example in Asia, that can also be negative. Again, that's a very different topic. Now, that's a third way you can use the one-to-one. So many ways, and that's really up to you, right? That's the most important message that I have for you. The one-to-one is your time to get with your manager, right? With your sales manager in particular. So we said the pipeline review is something very important, but also something very different from the one-to-one. So both have a place and purpose, but they have a very different place and purpose. So there you have it. Pipeline review and the one-to-one in sales are not the same thing.